For years, rehabilitation has kind of felt like a mystery, right? Like a black box. You go in with a problem, a team of smart people does a bunch of things, and hopefully you come out better. But what's actually happening inside that box? How does one simple leg exercise somehow lead you to getting your job back? Well, it turns out there's a map for that. And today, we're going to learn how to read it.
And hey, this isn't just a feeling people have. It's a real concept in the medical world. This quote from the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation basically says, yeah, for a long time, even doctors have struggled to explain exactly how all the pieces fit together. We know rehab works, but those connections, the how and why, have been, well, a little murky.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? What is the secret logic inside that box? How do we draw a straight line from the small, sometimes tedious things a therapist asks you to do to those huge, life-changing goals, like walking confidently through a park or getting back to a job you absolutely love?
To get that answer, we need to understand that it's not just one big idea. It's actually two really powerful theories that work together. Think about it like this. If you want to build a house, you need tools, right? A hammer, a saw, but you also need a blueprint, a map that shows you where everything is supposed to go.
And here they are, side by side. On one hand, you've got treatment theory. That's the how. It's your toolbox. It tells you exactly how a specific active ingredient, like doing leg lifts, directly hits a target, like making your leg muscles stronger. Simple. But then, on the other hand, you have enablement theory, and that's the why and the way. That's your map. It zooms out and shows you the connections, how stronger legs help you walk better, and how walking better lets you get back out into the world.
Let's just zoom in on treatment theory for a second. It is super focused. It's all about that direct cause and effect. You've got the active ingredient, that's what you do. You've got the target, that's what you measure. And the mechanism, that's how it all works. It's scientific, it's precise, and it's absolutely vital because it proves our tools actually work. But a pile of tools is just a pile of tools without a plan. And that's where enablement theory comes in. It's the strategic map. It's the whole framework that organizes all those individual treatments. It lets us predict how improving one little thing, like your balance, will have this ripple effect, enabling you to achieve a much bigger, more meaningful goal down the line. This is what gives every single exercise a real purpose.
Okay, so theory is great and all, but let's make this real. What does this actually look like for a person? Let's build an enablement map for a patient. We're going to call her Taylor.
So, here's Taylor. She's 24 years old, and 4 months ago, her life was changed by a stroke. Now, the most important thing to see here are her goals. She doesn't just want to be better in some vague clinical sense. No, she wants to get back to her job as a barista. She wants to go out with her friends again. These are her big destinations, the endpoints on her personal map. So, where does her team even start? They start at the very foundation. They figure out the core things at the body function level that are holding her back right now. Things like leg strength, which she needs for standing and walking, balance for stability, and word retrieval, because the stroke made it harder for her to find the right words. These are the very first stops on the map. And now you can start to see the connections being built. Improving those basic body functions starts to enable Taylor to do more complex, real-world stuff. Better leg strength and balance means she can start walking outside. Better arm function means she can practice making a coffee. And finding her words more easily helps her hold a real conversation. We are moving up the map one level at a time. And here it is, the final step. This is the payoff. By getting good at those activities, Taylor can finally reach her destination. Walking, making drinks, holding a conversation. What are those? They are the exact skills she needs to reach her ultimate goals, going back to work and hanging out with her friends. The map is complete. We've just unlocked the black box. Now, what's so crucial to understand here is that while the structure of the map is pretty universal, body functions leading to activities, leading to participation, Taylor's specific map is completely and totally her own. Just like the research says, what needs to be worked on and what that final destination is, it's unique for every single person. That's what makes this whole approach so personal and so powerful.
Okay, so this isn't just a cool idea for helping one patient at a time. This way of thinking is actually changing how huge research studies are designed. Let's see how this map-making idea can scale up to an entire program.
We're going to look at a real-world example called the Live Long, Walk Strong program. It's for older adults living in their communities, and the people who created it used this exact same logic to build the whole thing from the ground up. So look at how they did it. It's so logical. Step 1, they picked their big goal, their ultimate aim: improve walking speed, which is a huge indicator of overall health for older adults. Then, step 2, they worked backwards. They asked, okay, what are the key things that enable someone to walk faster? Their research pointed to 3 main targets: leg power, trunk endurance, and coordination. And finally, step 3, they designed specific exercises, their tools, to hit each of those targets. It's just a perfect enablement model in action.
All right, so we've seen how this works for an individual like Taylor, and we've seen it for a big research program. Let's just pull back for a minute and sum up why this whole framework is such a game changer for rehabilitation.
You can see the impact really spreads out across the whole field. For clinicians on the front lines, it helps them build those custom maps for patients and gets the whole medical team speaking the same language. For students who are just learning, it teaches them the reasoning behind a treatment, not just what to do. And for researchers, it helps them create way smarter studies that actually focus on the outcomes that patients themselves care about.
So at the end of the day, what enablement theory really does is take all that confusing, complex stuff that's happening during rehab, and it lays it all out on a clear, logical, and shared roadmap. It pulls us out of that mysterious black box and brings us into the light, where everyone, the patient, the therapist, the family, can see the exact path from that very first step to the final goal. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. This whole framework, it's all about breaking down a huge, faraway goal into a series of smaller, connected steps you can actually take. So forget about rehab for a second. Whether you're trying to learn a new skill, change careers, or just get healthier, where else in your life could you use an enablement map to get you where you really want to go?